Hello boys and girls, welcome to Mrs. Vandu's Math Movies. This is lesson 6-4 for course 3. In this section we're going to be solving equations with variables on both sides. Okay, no definitions or new terminology here, but the main thing to remember is just our basic properties that we use for solving equations. And the goal in doing this is to isolate all variable terms on one side of the equation, all constant terms on the other side of the equation, and then complete the process of solving from there. Okay, so we're going to start out with the equation 9 plus 2p equals negative 3 minus 4p. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract 4p from each side. Now, you will find as we work through more of these in class that you are going to have choices, and you can decide there's more than one appropriate way to solve every equation. You can put your variables ending up on the left or the right. It doesn't really matter. In this case, we're going to end up with our variable on the right-hand side, and then it's going to have a positive coefficient. A lot of times I like to work so that my coefficient is positive, but that's a personal preference. Okay? In this case, though, that's the way it's set up to go. So we're going to subtract 4p from each side. My next step, after combining like terms, this is the result. 2p plus 4p gives me 6p, so those are combined to 6p. Then I have negative 3 minus 4p plus 4p, which zero out, so I'm left with negative 3. At this stage now, I see that I have a constant, a variable term, and then a constant on the right-hand side. So I'm going to get rid of the 9 from each side by subtracting 9 from each side. So that's why I'm doing this now. Again, I'm working to isolate my variable. And when I do this, I get 9 minus 9 zeroes out, plus 6p, so I have 6p here on the left. Negative 3 minus 9 is negative 12. At this point now I'm going to finish by solving for p. I'll do that by dividing each side by 6. 6p divided by 6 equals p. Negative 12 divided by 6 is negative 2. So my solution here to this equation is p equals negative 2. You're then asked to check, and remember, we check by taking our solution and substituting it into the original equation. It's always a good idea to go back directly to the original equation so that if you've made computational errors down the road, you don't skew your results. Okay, so I'm going to substitute in negative 2 for p and simplify. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 9 plus negative 4 is 5. Negative 4 times negative 2 is 8, so 3 plus 8. Negative 3, plus 8 is 5. So the solution checks. And remember, we've been talking about when you have this coefficient here and a minus sign in here, to treat that as plus negative. So you do negative times negative. So I'm still wanting to do that in this case as well. Alright, you do have a quick check right here. However, I'm going to move directly on to our next example and either pause or come back to this after we're through with the example. Excuse me. Using the distributive property. The chess club decides to sell shirts and hats for fundraising. The total cost of a shirt and a hat is $21. Paula purchased 4 hats for the same price as 3 shirts. What is the cost of 1 shirt? Okay, so basically what we know here is we know the cost of a hat, and we know that the cost of 4 hats is the same as the cost of 3 shirts. So if I let x equal the cost of 1 shirt, because that's what I'm looking for, okay, I can set this up. 4 times 21 minus x, the cost of a hat and a shirt, minus the cost of the shirt. That's going to give me, right in here, this will be the cost of a hat. So 21 minus x is an expression for the cost of a hat. And this then gives me 4 times the cost of a hat is equal to 3 times the cost of a shirt. Okay, and basically that's the relationship that's given to me in the problem, so that's where I'm going with it. Now I'm going to distribute. 4 times 21 is 84, minus 4 times x, so that's minus 4x, equals 3x. There I use the distributive property. I'm abbreviating there. If you want to write it all the way out, you may. Okay. Now again, my goal here is to get my constant terms on one side and my variable terms on the other. 84 is the only constant, so I would just leave it there. Okay. So if I have 84 minus 4x, I'm going to add 4x to each side because that's going to remove the variable's presence from the left and it's going to move it to the right, so to speak. 84 minus 4x plus 4x is 84. 3x plus 4x is 7x. At this point, to continue or finish solving, I'm going to divide each side by 7 so that I get 1x. 84 divided by 7 is 12. So the cost of one shirt is $12. Although I'm not going to show the check here, you can always do a check, either a quick mental check or actually going in. And, well, this one's easy to do mentally, so I guess I will. 21 minus 12 is 9. 4 times 9 is 36. If I substitute in 12 here, 3 times 12 is 36. So I get 36 equals 36, which checks. Okay, you have your second example here, your second quick check. Have these ready for the next time that we get together in class. Bring in any questions that you need clarified. Remember, as always, you can go back and also look at the text and read through this section if you feel you want a little bit more or different explanation than I provided for you. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.